Like you more when you are working towards something, not when you have it. This is huge, especially if you're doing anything on social media, if you're trying to build any type of movement. People want to root for someone on a mission. They get bored when they're at the top. They want to see someone striving, struggling, trying to figure it out because that motivates them to do the same. I'm kind of learning this. That is from my friend Sahil Bloom, who sent me that quote today. And it's something I've kind of been struggling with my content, which is, I make these videos and I write, I am preaching these ideas. And truly everything I've written is not me trying to pretend I'm some certain way. All I'm doing is writing reminders to myself. That's what it's been since day one. That's what it's always been and really always will be, the voice in my head that is telling me things. I'm writing them down and trying to write them well and sharing them. And that's what I write about. There's a difference when it's me, when I'm making videos, when I'm doing content that's coming from me. That needs to be a little different in that I can't act like I have it all figured out because I don't. I'm still learning. I'm still on, honestly, the beginning of my obsession arc, which is going to take years and decades of my life. For me to sit in front of the camera and talk like I know everything is a complete lie. And the thing is, people will look at someone who has millions of followers like I do, and they literally sometimes think they're like a god, which is completely not true for me or anybody else. It is just followers. It means fucking nothing. I can tell you that for a fact. And there's also the thing that happens is when you have a huge audience, people just take everything you say as true, and your content will do well even if it's completely false because you just have enough reach. And so that is definitely a trap. Like there's some things that I say that are completely not right, but they'll get millions of views because I have a big audience, and I'm the first to admit that. And so something I'm going to do going forward, especially on this YouTube, is less sitting down and ranting and more so just documenting me going down the path of obsession myself and talking about finding my obsession. Because people ask me all the time, Zach, what are you obsessed with? There is one core obsession I've always had, which is writing. I'm writing online. I've done that for over 5 years. I will never stop. But as I find these new obsessions and new things I get really interested in, it's fascinating how I feel certain things myself and I get too into some things and then into other things and then get out of things. I got completely obsessed with running at the end of last year, and it completely took over my life. I stopped working. I stopped doing anything. All I was doing was watching running videos and going out for runs, training for marathon, cutting weight. I was dialed and I was getting so much progress. And then I got hurt, and then I kind of fell back a little bit from that obsession. And then when I got healthy, I've still been doing it. I have a marathon this Sunday in 2 days, and I definitely still love it. I haven't missed a session, but it's a little different where I feel myself forcing myself to do it. These long runs are kind of torturous, and so we're going to see how that obsession progresses, because it's like I should want to do it. I should not have to force myself. Obsession is the thing you don't have to force. There is a thin line where like marathon training sucks and those long workouts suck. I still love going out for the easy runs. I still love going out and running. And so we're going to see what happens after this marathon. I have a goal to hit a sub 3. If I don't do that on Sunday, I will keep fucking training until I hit that. I think I can do it in a few months. If I don't hit it, it basically just means I need to go a little easy on the honestly need to just fucking diet a bit and go a little easier on the lifting probably, because I was lifting like every night. What this comes down to, and this again is from Sahil's phrasing, is not just like selling this idea of obsession, but for me to actually make it matter over decades like I want to do, I have to be a product of it myself and fully obsess over the things I care about. And so to make it really clear, to make it extremely clear, the 3 things I'm going to obsess over now for these videos going forward, to make it ridiculously clear what I'm doing every day, is let's label 3 goals in the artist, athlete, and entrepreneur categories. That's what I call kind of the model for obsession. That is the person I want to be, the person who fucking kills it in each category, and they kind of all blend together to one thing. And so for me, those 3 goals are, for the art, is to write a fucking book, to get a book out about obsession. And that could mean just getting a book deal. That could mean doing something self-published. There needs to be progress every day in that arena. And I've been putting it off a little bit because it's such a long-term thing. But in reality, I need to obsess over it. I want to obsess over it. And I have to let myself and give myself an opportunity to. And so I think I'm going to use these videos to kind of explain how I'm thinking about things and how I'm thinking of the structure and what I'm researching, what I'm learning in this certain book for the research. I think that could be interesting. And then from the athlete side, right now I have my goal of sub 3 marathon. After that, I don't know what the next goal will be. It could be my original plan, which was to, cut my weight a little bit, get to around 200 pounds. I'm like 207 right now. Get to like 190 pounds and see how fast I could be in the marathon at that weight. See how insane I could get. That is an exciting goal. However, there's a lot of challenges out there that are interesting to me, and so I want to see how I feel after this run. And but I do think it's going to be something with running. Still, I still think that is the game I want to play for a long time. And then on the entrepreneur side, it's going to be starting a brand this year now, like getting this announcement out there, getting a launch date on the calendar, and getting products out there, because this is the one thing that I've always wanted to do. And I have launched some merch in the past. I have done some collaborations, but it's been a long time, and I have never done anything under this label of obsession. And people are actually making their own merch, which is the crazy fucking thing. I'm not selling it. So people are going and printing things on their walls. They're making custom. I saw a Dark Place mouth guard. It's crazy. And so expect an announcement from that next week on what that line is going to be, how you can be involved. It's going to be a very collaborative project where I'm very open about everything I'm building, how I'm building it. Yeah, I have a lot of the ideas ready, because I do think once you tie your creativity to a money vehicle, that is when your life completely changes. And I haven't done that yet. I have been creating content for a long time, but most of the ways I've made money have been branched off my content in terms of sponsorships or different businesses that are just kind of branches off versus actually part of the art itself, part of the thing. A lot of that, there's many reasons for why I haven't done it. Part of it is fear if I could really do it, because it is the most important thing to me. And it has been forever. I've always been obsessed with brands, clothing brands and designs. And it is like, to me, the pinnacle. Like to have something that someone wears is, to me, the biggest achievement. Is like one of the hardest things in business, to make something that someone puts on their body and represents them. And so I've always wanted to play that game. I've played it, like I said, I've done some merch stuff a few years ago, but it is the game that really matters. It's time to start playing it and stop fucking around. So yeah, those are like the 3 obsessions that I'm going to document, me being obsessed with those things. I'm also going to talk about if that changes. Because I do think people don't really know what their obsession is. And so maybe these goals will change when I realize, okay, this isn't the right thing. But just the process of getting in the arena and forcing myself into this game will show me these feelings that I have, because I'm becoming very aware of them, on whether an obsession is real. Once an obsession is real, and once you make a commitment to something, that's the thing. You really do need a commitment sometimes. I made a commitment to running a marathon and got totally obsessed with it. And even if that obsession is not forever, I'm glad it happened, that 4-5 month period. And like I said, I'm still fucking obsessed with running. Let's be clear. Still running every fucking day, 50 miles plus a week. But what I'm saying is, once you make that commitment, once you obsess, it should be very obvious to yourself whether you're forcing yourself to do this thing or whether you're forcing yourself to stop doing it, whether it's pouring out of you, whether you're waking up every second and waiting to do it. It's just like a shift I'm going to make overall with my content, especially on these YouTube videos, especially on the podcast. I am not in the position. I do not want to be a preacher. I do not want to be a fucking yapper, like some people say. I'll be like the fucking person to tell you that I'm not there yet. Like, it'd be really easy for me to have all these followers, to have this audience, I have this like image. It'd be super easy to me to fucking milk it and just act like I have everything figured out and act like I'm this guy fucking on top, has all this shit sorted. But I'm not. And the followers mean nothing. And if you look at other people, it is the same fucking deal for them. They're just not going to admit it. And I'll admit it because I'm not attached to it. I am fine losing all of those followers to actually do something that matters, start a business that really matters, and do something and make my dream come true, which is build obsession into this movement, this world, and spark this movement that I genuinely believe I was put on earth to do. That's it. That's the video. I know this was all about me. I don't know if this was helpful, but hopefully with your content, it can inspire you to just be real, go on a mission, and realize where you're at. If you have, sold $1 billion company, great. Talk about that. But if you haven't, don't be just the preacher. Be someone going on a mission and sharing what you learn on the way up. People want to go on a mission, and then people will either join you on your mission or that you'll inspire them to go on their own. Either way is a massive, massive win. That's it. Have a good one. Stay fucking obsessed.